Alright, so I had a thought just now after like a really kind of crazy experience I just had. I'm literally still shaking from it. So basically, what I just realized is that there is a reason why most of the characters in the gospel, or in the Bible, honestly, the main characters in the Bible, there's a reason why they would always go off in solitude into the wilderness. And I realized it because I was finally alone in my house, and I just happened to be feeling a lot because if you know what I mean. And something I've been experiencing after I took Bufo or DMT, after I took that, I started experiencing a lot of anxiety. But it's anxiety because I'm more aware. Like, I see reality more for what it is. And I'm just aware of everything that I used to ignore. And yeah, so I've just been experiencing a lot of anxiety. But I need to get back to my original point. After feeling a lot of that anxiety, I laid down and I just started breathing, and the air condition was going on, and I was thinking about how loud it was, and I was trying to like will it to turn off, but then that uncomfortable feeling of hearing the noise was like adding to my anxiety, and I just had to breathe. And the thing is when I breathe deeply, like when I truly breathe, I just start to release, and if I let myself, I could just scream. But if I scream in the way that I want to scream, people would hear me, and people would probably want to check on me, or like, so I can't be as loud as I want, and because of that, I can't release everything that I feel inside of me. And I think that's truly what's just driving me to just want to find somewhere I feel safe and disappear. And maybe that's why the people in the Bible, they would disappear for so long. Because I think what they had to do was just way too vulnerable and personal, and we need to be alone for it, for the type of releasing. And I think I understand now, what it means to hold on, I just had a realization that I need to process. Because I was struggling with the idea that Jesus could carry people's sins. Like, that was the whole point, and then for him to just die, right? But I think now I can believe it, because from my experience, it's like I could take in so much, and I feel like I could feel the world's pain, and suffering. And I don't know, I think I'm carrying some of that with me, and I'm releasing it all through me. Like, it has to go through me. And isn't death the ultimate release? And that's what Jesus had to do. I understand now. I haven't even finished what I was trying to say. So I was breathing deeply. And I think the DMT in my brain was getting activated. I mean, that's literally what deep breathing does. And I start to like feel something in my chest, and I just start kind of letting that feeling overtake me, and I channeled it into my breathing, and then just like noise. Like, I just started making noise. I just started letting go. And hold on. So once I felt what I needed to felt from here, I started going lower and lower and lower, and like, I don't know, the noise that came out of me was just, it felt so good to let it go, and I know I could have done more, but I was still trying to contain myself. I wish I could have just fucking screamed. And there were times where like I was having to face the fact that I'm scared of death, and that's really why I wouldn't let myself go far enough. That's what I just heard in my head. I don't know, maybe yeah, there definitely is. There's definitely something that I need to reach, and something that I need to see, and something that I need to accept. But I keep resisting, and like, I should be experiencing this aliveness. It's true aliveness, and it feels like, I don't know how to explain it. Because it's so overwhelming, but it's so beautiful at the same time. And it's so scary at the same time. And I just keep thinking, like, let go, let go, let go. There's so much that I'm scared of. And my biggest fear is dying. Let go. see? It's so overwhelming, but it's so beautiful. And like, this is probably gonna be a lifelong journey of me accepting, really letting myself be free of this form, maybe of all form. Right now, I'm looking over here at my books, and I don't know if you could tell, but it says The Healing Light of the Tao. I am going to search really quick what Tao means. Let me see. Like, I know it, but at the same time, I don't think I could explain it. Tao most commonly refers to the foundational concept in East Asian philosophy and religion, meaning the way, path, or principle. It acts as the natural, unknowable cosmic order from which all things arise. Literally, unknowable. Unknowable cosmic order from which all things arise. The term is central to Taoism, a tradition emphasizing harmony with nature, simplicity, and effortless action, known as Wu Wei. Wu Wei. The more that I learn about Tao, the more that I realize that it already is my way of thinking and being. Like, I'm not learning anything new, it's just confirming something that I already know. Or rather, I'm not necessarily learning something new, but I am remembering a lot of things at the same time. Things that I already, like, understand, and then I'm rereading, and then I am, I guess, remembering more. Just like right now. Like, I'm remembering how to breathe. Like, it comes so naturally. My body already knows what to do. But I have to let go. That's the only way. That's the only way I'm ever going to be able to reach this. To reach... I don't know what to call it. It's just I'm just so human in those moments, like pure human, and I feel like I feel like I become an animal, like because I am an animal, right? Ultimately, but like, and I just enter the flow. That reminds me, I had something that I wanted to read to you, and I'm going to do that now. Okay. I wrote this, I think yesterday, maybe the day before. Peace. You always have access to it. The key is acceptance. Life will go on, whether you participate or not. You can join the flow, or you can choose to step out of it. But allow things to be. Release control. Dang, I was like so insecure about this while I was writing it, and now that I'm reading it back, I really like it. I'm gonna read it again so I could really solidify it in my mind and your mind. Peace. You always have access to it. The key is acceptance. Life will go on, whether you participate or not. You can join the flow, or you can choose to step out of it. But allow things to be. Release control. Yes. Yes. That's it. That's the key. The key is acceptance. I think that's what I'm gonna call this video. The key is acceptance. Oh, that's so good. And sometimes it can be the hardest thing to do. And each time I've really let myself accept something, I have ego deaths, and like I go through this like huge like just spiritual moment. Oh, and like I said about being an animal, I forgot about that. Here I say you can join the flow or you can choose to step out of it. So I think humans have separated themselves so much from the flow of life. And when we step in it, it feels uncomfortable and scary because we have, like, I don't think we've done that fully since, like, the Stone Age, you know? When we were our most primal. Because we are primal beings. We are primal beings. And that's something I feel every time I do, like, mushrooms or psychedelics, right? And that's what I was feeling today when I was just, all I was doing was breathing. But I was breathing, I think, in the way that I meant to be, like, breathing. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. But when I release control, I connect to the flow, like the natural flow of life. Like I feel it. There's roots, and they like I'm rooted to it. I'm connected to it. There is no separation. There is no separation. Fuck. There is no separation. I need to write that down. Give me a second. There is no separation. I'm connected to all things. And so, when I really let myself be an animal, I kind of let go of thinking, and I'm truly just being. I'm just, I don't know, like, my personality, I guess, is like gone, I guess, and like, I don't know, I do lose myself. I do. And that's scary, and I'm feeling and I'm thinking, like, I am thinking at the same time, but I'm letting go of the thoughts as I'm doing it. I'm like just aware, like I'm afraid of dying, and I'm afraid of losing myself in this existence and this reality, and like and that's why like I'm feeling so much anxiety right now as I'm experiencing this. And my heart rate, I could feel my heart rate, so like I've never felt my heart rate like that. And like like I was scared that I was dying, but I knew, I was aware that I wasn't dying and that I was in total control. And again, this is all just from breathing deeply. Like I don't have to do anything. I don't have to ingest anything. And so yeah, I don't know. I understand. I'm gonna continue to go on, and I'm not judging myself for being afraid of those things. And I'm just gonna go on until I can conquer those fears, until it's time to conquer those fears. Because right now it's not time. Right now is the time to become aware of it. But eventually, and that's the whole point of this life, I will come to terms with it. And I don't have to rush that. I don't want to rush that. Because then what's the point of living? What's the point of existing? So that is my quest, is overcoming the fear of death. And that makes sense why I'm so connected to the angel of death in the Bible. For those of you who don't know, in the story of Exodus, when Moses was warning the Pharaoh of these plagues that were 12, I think it was 12 plagues that were coming to Egypt. And the last plague was that the angel of death would take all of the firstborn sons in all of Egypt unless they put sheep's blood of the purest sheep that they have, right? They have to make a sacrifice and they have to put the blood on the doorpost so that the angel knows that this is God's people, they are pure, and the angel would not take their firstborn sons. And so obviously the plague happens, and what Moses said was true, and the angel of death takes the Pharaoh's son. Excuse me. And that's the first time that the Bible mentions the angel of death. But in the second time that it mentions the angel of death, and this time I haven't read it myself. My mom was the one that was telling me about it, but I think I have to read it. I'm realizing that right now. And the angel of death ends up killing, I think, 100,000 men to protect the kingdom of David. I think this is in 2 Kings. No, I know it's in 2 Kings. But I think it was David that the angel of death was protecting. Killed 100,000 men, I think, in an instant, if I'm not mistaken. I need to read it for myself. And, you know, I don't know why I felt connected to this. Like hearing those stories, like, there's, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's not like I like what the angel of death did. But something about it is like it keeps showing up. And it just makes total sense now that my quest would be conquering the fear of death. And I'm connected to the angel of death. Or I feel connected to the angel of death. I don't know. That's just an interesting correlation. But yeah. And so my whole life is going to be about letting go. And it's just going to get harder and harder and harder and harder as I keep going. And I'm grateful for it already. Even though I know it's going to be hard. I came here for this. And so it's just like I said, like letting go over and over and over and over again. And it kind of reminds me of, or makes me think of, when I was breathing deeply today, and I was just going in and 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 in, and I kept finding more and more and more and more. The more I kept letting go and letting go and letting go, there was more to let go of. It's just like, that's literally how it felt. Like, it felt like I was just imploding in on myself. And it felt amazing. But like I said, it felt really, really scary at the same time. But I was in complete control. I was, even though sometimes I would convince myself that I wasn't. I knew I was, ultimately. But yeah, okay, before I end this video, I want to read something from this book that I'm very slowly reading. It's called The Magdalene Mysteries, The Left-Hand Path of the Feminine Christ. Excuse me. Oh, shoot. So I just opened on a random page. Hold on, I just bookmarked it. It says, Mary the Holy Whore. And then it says, a third way. Which is interesting because, everything that we see for a reason, right? That's what I believe. And so I saw this post from Ryan Robinson on YouTube. I was gonna say Little Buddha, but that's his Spotify name. And he talks about how, he says, I don't claim that Jesus is the only way to heaven, I think. But it 100% is a way. And I was like, yes, I totally agree. And right now I'm staring at this, like Mother of Mary picture that I have. And I'm not like super connected to Mary, but I just like the picture. But it makes me think of how Catholics, they pray to Mary. They believe Mary will heal everybody. And that's just so interesting because, like, for the Catholics, it's Mary. For the Christians, it's Jesus. For the Muslims, it's Allah, I think. I don't know if they pray to Muhammad. I'm not sure. I don't want to claim that, but I'm not sure who prays to Buddha, but there's people that do that too. And they all can reach this state of enlightenment. Like, they really can, through all those different people that they are, following, I guess. And so I'm going to read what this says, and I have not read this yet. So we are both reading it for the first time. Okay. A third way. It may well be possible that the true scandal is that Mary, as a temple priestess and weaver of the holy veil of Shekinah, was prepared for the role as part of her spiritual destiny as a priestess and a future scarlet mother of the messianic bloodline. It is clear that there is more going on that meets the eye. In fact, even his disciples call Jesus a son of a harlot, and detractors in his local community refer to his illegitimacy as if it is common knowledge. The Gnostic Gospel of Thomas reveals knowledge of the scandalous rumors of Jesus' parentage, stating of Jesus that he who knows the Father, God, and the Mother, feminine Holy Spirit, will be called son of a harlot. In the Gospel of John 8:41, opponents of Jesus respond in heated discussion with him that we were not born illegitimately, implying they knew Jesus was of an illegitimate birth. The Acts of Pilate 2:3 presents the charge made to Pontius Pilate by Jewish elders that Jesus was born of fornication. Fornication was usually a phrase reserved for the harlots and whores, the temple priestesses who performed hieros gamos rituals, either annually to bless the land or to enthrone a king or priest, or to conceive a child of magical consciousness and kingship. They would perform rituals either annually to bless the land or to enthrone a king or priest, or to conceive a child of magical consciousness and kingship. Interesting. The reality of the synoptic gospels is that they are conflicted. They know they must address the rumors of the illegitimacy in some way, but they are trying to minimize and obscure the truth because it is embarrassing, scandalous, and easily misunderstood by the public. If these were the only pieces of evidence of Mary's irregular conception of Jesus, perhaps we would have some lingering doubt, because it was considered too impolite for the Christian gospel writers to directly state the facts. But the rabbinical and Roman writers also have much to say on that matter, and they do not hold back. Okay, this is interesting. This is not at all what I expected this this to be about. And so now I'm realizing that it's talking about Mary the Holy Whore. But I thought it was talking about Mary Magdalene at first, but it's talking about Mother Mary. Right? Let me keep reading. I don't know if this is important, but we're gonna get to the bottom of this. We now turn our attention to the earliest sources outside the Bible to see what we can learn about Jesus and Mother Mary, or Miriam, as she would have been called at that time. Interestingly, early Christian and Jewish Talmudic tradition agree on one thing. There was clearly an anomaly in Jesus' conception. Joseph, the upstanding Jewish man who later married Mary, was not Jesus' biological father, and whoever the father was, he was nowhere to be found. Wait, this makes so much sense. So really, I totally believe that. That, oh my gosh. Okay. So Joseph really was just the man who stepped up, right? Like, it wasn't his kid, but he was gonna, he's gonna help her. This is crazy. I've grown up in the church, right? I have read these stories. I have read the gospel. I have had the Bible in my life forever, since I was 8, right? But now I'm accepting some of it, and I'm starting to understand it, like, because if I read it in this way, if I read it in a, what's the word? If I read it realistically, then it makes sense, and then I can accept it. So, I don't know how Mary got pregnant, but I understand if, like, Jesus just was not born from a virgin birth. Like, that just makes the like, bruh, we're not stupid. Or, well, okay, anyways, let me keep going. So who was the father? How did Mary's pregnancy happen? The Jewish solution was very practical. Mary was a whore. She had sex and conceived a child outside of marriage. The father, in Talmudic histories, was very much a human, not a god, a Roman soldier known as Pantera or Pandera. Jesus was clearly an illegitimate child, a mamzer who later rose to prominence as a healer, magician, and spiritual teacher. But because he was conceived in sin, he would never be a true Messiah. The Christian solution to the problem of Jesus' parentage was mystical. God, in fact, was the missing father, which made Jesus the Son of God. It goes all the way back. This is why. There was no human father, thus there was no sex out of wedlock. This interpretation, rather than being an embarrassment, formed the powerful, mythical cornerstone of the Christian faith. Mary, being the mother of God incarnate, was the eternal virgin, who was never defiled by the human sexual act. There are the two options presented to us by traditional sources, but the third untold, very radical, and secret possibility is that Mary was a priestess of the goddess traditions, who conceived Jesus in the temple rites of old, and that Joseph brought her into safety and protection under the Jewish law by marrying her. Oh, Joseph. That's beautiful. Okay. Hold up. Oh. If Mary is a priestess of the goddess, perhaps Jesus' forbidden secret is that he is first and foremost a son of the goddess, rather than the son of a patriarchal god. When priestesses conceived through the sexual rites of the temple, Their children were said to be children of the goddess herself, and were sometimes raised in the temples. If this were the case with Jesus, I'm not saying I believe this, okay? This is my first time reading. Excuse me. If this were the case with Jesus, it would have required only a small gender switch for the church to make him a son of a male god. Interestingly, this is also the story of the Sumerian poet princess. Oh my gosh. I just heard, okay, remember, we see everything for a reason. I just saw this name for the first time, like, before I even opened this. I was watching this video. I think I posted it in my community. It was about, like, Mary Magdalene and her story, and he mentions this Sumerian, what did it say, priestess or princess? Oh, it does say princess. Sumerian poet princess Enheduanna's father Sargon the Great, who was born illegitimately around 2370 BCE, Sargon writes, okay, so this is her father. I am Sargon, the mighty king. My mother was an Enetu priestess. My father I did not know. My mother, the Enetu, became pregnant with me. She brought me into the world in secret. She put me in a little reed basket. She launched me into the water in a river. Ishtar became fond of me. This is interesting. This is talking about Moses. This is talking about Moses. But it's a totally different name. Right? Okay, anyways. Sargon considered himself a son of Ishtar. He worked as a chalice bearer under her name in service to the reigning king, and eventually rose to power himself, creating the world's first empire and dynasty of Ishtar. Maybe it's not, but that is so, like, the parallels are really interesting. Okay, so anyways, a lot just connected for me. A lot. And I think I may be accepting Jesus a little bit more than I was before. Or at least the story as it's told. I don't fully accept certain things, but I understand him a little bit better. Things I've been confused on since I was a little girl are finally making sense. And that's interesting because I just asked God for this, or I kind of talked to Jesus like a week or two ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago. And I was telling him how I really needed something big to allow me to, like, I guess, let him be a part of my life. Because, like, yeah, I don't think he's the only way to God. And I don't think we have to pray to him in order to get to God. But he is such a beautiful soul and a beautiful teacher. He's the perfect teacher. Interesting. Which is another thing that I've asked God for, which is somebody to teach me, or a mentor. And I can just reach him again. I've done it before. I don't know if you've seen it, but I've, like, talked about how I think I feel like I knew Jesus when he was alive. Like, I think that's kind of why I feel a little strange about worshiping him in the way that everybody else does. Because, like, it would feel weird to worship a friend, right? Like, somebody that you know, like, somebody that, yes, you were really inspired by, and yes, was a huge part of your life, right? Like, but you wouldn't get down on your knees for them, like, well, I guess they did back then. I don't know if you get what I mean. And so, but just because I don't worship him doesn't mean I can't accept him in my life and I can't learn from him. Again, all I would be doing is remembering. or maybe continuing to learn more from him, even if I did know him when he was alive. Like, I could continue to know more. So I accept Jesus in my life and in my heart, right here, right now. Finally, like, finally I can do it, truly. This is like my true baptism. I've done it 3 times. Finally, I can really accept him. The key is acceptance. That is so interesting. There is so much I have to accept, so much that I have to let go of in order to accept. God is good. Life is great. I feel amazing right now. And I had a bad day. Like, my head was hurting really, really bad in the morning. And I finally, you know, I had a night off from working at camp. And I end up opening my phone, because we're not allowed to have electronics unless we're off. And I open my phone, and my mom says that there was money taken out of my account. So all the money that I made, all that I made from being at this camp, down the drain because of my medical bills from a couple years ago. And that made me very angry and sad, because I have not been able to save anything since 2022, when I was working 40 hours a week. Yeah, I had like $1,000-something in my bank account all the time, but like, I was working 40 hours a week. So I let that go, and now I only get what I need. Only get what I need for a very long time. And it's been teaching me to really rely on God and trust that He is providing. But fuck, like, now I'm really feeling it. After years. Because I want to take my dog to the vet. I want to move. I want to find somewhere quiet where I can scream and cry and, like, you know, and nobody's gonna be like concerned for me. And so, yeah, like, now I feel like I need it. Fuck, I need it. Please give me more. Thank you so much for taking care of me. Thank you. And please just give me more than what I need. And so, yeah, anyways, I was having a really bad day, and I needed this. And this whole experience I've had today, sort of, which is crazy because it stemmed from, like, something that felt really heavy. It just made me have one of the best experiences of my life. And this is what makes life worth living. Like, this is so good, this feeling. And I want to feel it more. So just, like, really be here. Really, like, if you accept reality for what it is, if you just sit here and just accept everything that's happening around you and where you are, it's such a freeing feeling. And it's something that I wish I can, like, gift to people, but it's every person's journey. Like, I can't do it for them. They have to come to this on their own. I can guide them. I can say, do mushrooms. But I can't force them to have an ego death. Like, I had the perfect ingredients for my ego death. And it stemmed, again, from something really bad. I had, like, you know, I had the biggest heartbreak of my life, and suddenly I broke open. And now God can really move through me. And, you know, like, every person's gonna get there on their own, hopefully. I mean, some people go on and they don't have it, or every soul will get there on their own. So yes, it will happen eventually, whether it be in this life or the next. And so, yeah, I just wish I could give this to everybody, but I can't. I have to accept that. And I have to focus on myself. And in focusing on myself and in focusing on my path and focusing on the people around me, if I accept things as they are, if I let the flow guide me to where I need to be, I'm naturally following the flow, by the way. Like, everything happens for a reason. And I am put in certain places for a reason. I have to trust that. Right now, I'm in this, I took this financial blow for a reason. It led me to this. It led me to this experience. Now I'm ready for more. God, I have learned. I get it. I get the message. Show me another one. But, yeah. Anyways, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I hope you're following along. My mind is just... But life is beautiful. I feel awesome, like I said earlier, and I hope that you could feel awesome too. And I hope that you, I hope that you were able to learn something from this. You kind of learned with me also. And that's really cool that we could do this together. Really beautiful. And me having that really uncomfortable experience led us to this moment. To me sharing this and me talking to you and you finding this video. If you've made it this far, you are awesome. You are, like, I know you have a good heart and I know you have a huge mission. Like, I'm growing so slow, but I know that the people that are finding me for a reason, and this is all like, we are going to change the world together, okay? I'm so sure of that right now. I see so clearly, and I don't know, all I can think is just finally. But yeah, accept things as they are, accept where you are. God will send a way, trust that, just feel what you need to feel, and just breathe. You will get there. Everything will align. Trust the process, trust the flow. There is no separation. Let go. Okay, I love you. Bye.